can't do it. I don't know why we did that. Let's make it weird.
Hey, what are you more excited? What are you more excited for, the stock show or the Broncos game? Go.
Broncos game. You?
I think personally the stock show, because the first rodeo is tomorrow and we're going to be there.
We're going to be there.
We're going to be there for the first rodeo. That's exciting because they've asked me to participate.
Oh, in the rodeo.
Yeah, I'm going to be on one of those dancing horses that prance around.
That's what I said yesterday off the air.
The Broncos have never asked me to participate.
The weird part is, they asked me to this weekend. Off the air, you weren't as offended as I thought you'd be when I'm like, you'd be a horse dancer. And you're like, oh. Like
that. Do you know? Okay. Side note. My lovely niece Ava, up in Windsor. Dancer? She is. She does that. So Eva. It's nice that you made fun of her.
I'm sure it's super athletic, and
she has a horse. I met her horse.
What's its name? Chaperone?
Al or Walter, one of the. Oh no, I forget. But anyway, met the horse, and she does that. She rides it and jumps it and teaches it all of the things with her legs. She's got to squeeze the horse, and that tells the horse where to go.
Yes.
So
with barrel racing, you squeeze it around where you want it to go.
So stock show people, representatives, if you need anything, I got you. I've watched my niece do it.
Okay, good to know. That doesn't always translate, though. You know that, right?
No, no, I've seen it, so it's fine.
But it's not going to translate to, like, other things. Is what I'm saying. Knowing that is not you can't just. I guess, like, for the first couple of years, like with Ian, I would get on and try to, like, if he wasn't going where I wanted him to, I'd try to wrap that right thigh around and bend him a little.
That's why
like
there's so much training. You had to train him.
Yes.
And there's clicks involved.
He didn't like it.
You have to click it in sometimes.
Just kind of like pull the reins a little bit.
Yeah,
and, like,
that'll make him turn left.
Yeah. You're going to see it a lot tomorrow. In case you're not from Denver, if you see a woman mount her husband
and
wrap her legs around the back, that's what she's doing. It's normal. It's normal.
All right. So first things first, stock show kicks off, and we're going to be out there from 10 to 2 tomorrow. So stop by, say hi. If you when you walk into the Coliseum where the rodeos are, turn immediately to the right, and we're like 2 spots down on the other side of the John Deere.
Yes.
That's where we are every year.
Right there.
That's where you can stop by and say hi. We'll be there all 16 days. But tomorrow it's you and me from 10 to 2.
So excited. So I am very excited for that. But now let's get to the Broncos game. Stock show. We are lucky enough to be there every year. Cannot wait for it. Broncos, it's been a minute.
Not so lucky enough.
It has been a minute. We started doing on the show when we wrapped the show up, the last time the Broncos were in the playoffs. And it is, to say 9 years, we remember the last time they were in the playoffs. And we're like, oh my God, it feels so fun. And you forget how excited the city gets. And then you start actually putting it into perspective. Like AJ was in kindergarten.
My kid was, I think, 6 months old. Pre-pandemic. Matt, how old were you?
Yeah.
You were 3 years old.
9 years ago.
15, I was 15.
He was 15 years old. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy?
Is that when we won the Super Bowl? Is that the last time we were in? Or did we make the playoffs and then lose?
We won the Super Bowl.
So the last time we were in the playoffs, we won the Super Bowl. That's got to mean something.
And we have the longest drought in the NFL.
That's got to mean something.
The longest drought of returning to the playoffs post Super Bowl.
That's not a good stat. You don't want that stat.
We've had 13 quarterbacks. We're not going to get into all the stats, but
name
the
them. Go.
Excitement of it. I know. Simeon.
Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
Do you know my brother? My brother is triggered with Russell Wilson at the Avs game the other night. We were talking about Broncos, and he's been a fan his whole life. Big fan. He's like, oh, don't say that name around me. He's so triggered by that name.
Really?
Yeah.
He is very triggering.
He is triggering.
Do you know a stat here, Matt? You might know this stat. One of our coworkers told me that even this year, one of the most Googled things or most searched things on our sports station, we have a sports station in the building too, is still Russell Wilson's name. Like still with the playoffs, it's still Russell Wilson is one of the most searched things on their site.
We have to watch him play. Is it tomorrow night? Steelers are
oh,
playing.
Yeah.
Steelers are in. Russell Wilson's in the playoffs, y'all.
We still have to see his dumb advertisement up at DIA for that store that nobody's ever in. Is that where the Illuminati is, by the way? Is in Russell Wilson's dumb store?
Yep. Sierra is head of the Illuminati.
Yes.
We know this to be a fact.
So she's got the beanie on. I mean, she looks stunning as always.
If you bing it, Sierra, head of the Illuminati. It comes up if you Bing it. Hey, but so there's a possibility Steelers play the Broncos in the playoffs. How about that? Oh, my brother would be in a bunker within he couldn't do it.
In a bunker?
Well,
I know a store at DIA he could get into it.
He'd be in that bunker.
So with that, making our way into the weekend predictions, I think the Broncos do have this. I think it's going to be a tight game, and 17-13 is my prediction for the Broncos game. Broncos on top.
We're in the trust tree, right?
Mm-hmm.
So earlier on the show, I said 52-3 Broncos win. Do you want to know my honest feelings?
I do.
Broncos lose. Listen, Buffalo, you have the MVP of the league. You also have an offensive line that doesn't allow sacks. Now, Broncos have the most sacks, right? Their defense is great. Right. But you're in Buffalo. It is hard to win a game in Buffalo. Their fans are awesome. They're breaking tables in Buffalo.
What do you mean breaking tables?
Yeah, their fans break tables or something. It's like a thing.
What?
Yeah.
I haven't heard that. What does it mean? What does it do?
Yeah, they do that. They dive onto tables. They jump on a table.
Why?
They do it. They do it in the
tailgating.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you meant the players did this something. I was
like,
what is this? No. Okay, so tailgate. So they pull a Nate Smith, Bailey Zimmerman, Hoobajoob.
Correct.
Where they break tables in the back row. Y'all were there for that. That was fun.
I'm not happy if my prediction comes true, but it's going to be close. But I do think Buffalo wins. You guys.
I don't know.
I think Buffalo wins.
I just feel like, again, you make great points, and I think it's going to be a low scoring game. But our defense is just so good, and their offense is so good. I think if we can just make like that one key play where Sean Payton doesn't go for two, and like if we can just make that one key coaching play or going for a field goal and putting points on the board instead of trying for it on fourth at a certain point. I think we got it. I do.
Stats. Here's what matters. What's the name of the quarterback of the Bills?
Josh Allen.
Allen just got engaged to that one pop star. What's her name? She's no Taylor Swift. Haley Steinfeld. Okay, that's going to be the difference in this one.
Okay. And you know all this because 5 seconds ago you didn't know their names.
I just forgot Alan's name and her name.
Who's that guy? Who's that girl?
Yeah.
That's why they're not winning.
That's going to be the difference. No, Allen is a really good quarterback. That guy's going to run for more yards than he passes because the weather's going to be not so good. Why don't you
take a lap while you're crowning Josh Allen on this post show? So I'm starting to feel a little personal.
I guarantee. Okay, so I
feel a little personal.
I'm hoping the Broncos win. I hope we make it.
Yeah.
But let's say that the Bills do win. At that point, we shift our cheering. We shift our support for the Bills, right? Nobody hates the Bills.
We shift our support to the Minnesota Vikings.
No. That's NFC. Bills or Chiefs.
Oh, well, Bills.
Absolutely. That's my point. Everybody, if the Bills make it past the Broncos, then go Bills.
I could see. I'm with you on that. I have zero hate for the Bills unless they do something terrible. Can I bring the room down? Like not down, but just for a second. Did you guys watched the Detroit Minnesota game, right?
Oh,
everybody watched the Detroit Minnesota game, right? You know, in my home, the Minnesota Vikings, I'm the Broncos fan number 1, Vikings number 2. Everyone else is Vikings, Broncos. So this is a really big game coming up too. But during the Detroit game, did you guys catch during the moment of silence for New Orleans? Did you catch that? Were you watching the game? The NFL,
I didn't watch that part.
The NFL had a moment of silence at the beginning of the game and gave a really nice tribute, speaking about everyone in New Orleans that was killed. Yeah. And in the moment of silence, within 5 seconds, 2 Detroit fans scream, and one of them screams, "The Vikings suck." And I was like, you know what? Bad karma, Detroit. Like, you're an underdog that everyone kind of likes, like the Bills, where it's like you've never really had a big win. Until then, that was like a poison pill to me of like, dude, I hope you guys get bounced fast.
You can't hold it against the team for their fans doing that.
Hey, if Eagles fans are garbage, so are Detroit.
That's a hot take. I don't agree with that take anymore. Be pissed at that fan. Don't be pissed at the Lions. They are a good team.
They should have made a statement. Not supporting their fans.
You're just bitter that the Vikings lost to the Lions that game.
Yeah, totally. Totally was. But I was like, ooh, that changed it for me. So unless one of the Bills fans does something really crappy, I'm with the Bills. That's what made me think about it. Because I would have cheered for Detroit if they went on and the Vikings got bounced. Not anymore.
All for that one fan.
For that 2.
who is probably a Vikings fan anyway, like somehow. I don't know, Vikings related. I don't know.
They're just a puke. They yell during a moment of silence.
If the Broncos make it to the Super Bowl, Broncos Lions Super Bowl. If the Broncos don't make it, Bills Lions Super Bowl.
Oh,
that's what I want.
Then it's all Bills.
All Bills.
Okay, guys, that's it. Have a super fun weekend. We'll see you at the stock show. Come see me and this little mutton buster over here. Bye.
Would they let me do that? Would they let me?